So when you first open it for the very first time, this is when all the questions pop up, and we'll just go ahead. This is going to be strictly with whatever you and your preferences are, and I will do my own. And okay, there we go. Now for this part, close your eyes. I must enter my private information. Okay, I have entered my super secret information and go through and read word for word every bit of the user agreement, please. And then click agree. So that takes you to the main interface here, and I'm going to go through this all as quickly as possible. So let's just, these bottom three options, you have the Autel Sky photos. If you're connected, it will show you the photos on your SD card as well. And then let's go ahead and just power on the quad so you can see that. Let's get out of this. Okay, so now if we go back into the album, you can see we have some pictures there I took of Clifford, the big red dog, from another video I was making, but it shows you other videos that I have, and whenever I'm testing it here at home, you see a lot of home stuff. But let's just say you want to download one. You go to select in the upper right, click the one you want to select or select them all, and then in the bottom left, just simply download, and it goes to your album. You can also take a movie and you can click the scissors and you can do your little edits with it and so forth. So go back, cancel, cancel, go back. Now let's go to Skill Center. Mine's going to show all, no, this is for the tutorials, I'm sorry. This is all your tricks, tips, all that kind of stuff. The manual, everything is in there. And then you go to the personalization center. Mine's going to be all zeros now since I've uninstalled this and reinstalled it. So, but what it'll do is it'll show you your total flight time. This is where you go and show your flight records, your flight logs. I should have 0 on there now. So that's the unfortunate part about deleting the app and reinstalling it. And then enter the flight menu. Once the aircraft is connected, that is turned on for me. Device management shows you which one you're connected to. Already bound to another account. No aircraft bound, already bound. I don't even understand why it's saying that. It didn't say it the last time I was just in here, but we'll leave it alone. And you can clear your cache, user terms, you can change your language, connect new aircraft, and then that's just when you're doing this for the first time, it runs you through your tutorial here, shows you all this stuff. Let's get out of there. But that just runs you through how to connect to the aircraft by binding it. So you're going to get this out of the box already bound, but if you have a new aircraft and you need to bind it to this controller, then that's when you would go to that. And then we can go and reset the novice guide, but it's already reset since we deleted the app and restarted it. So we have lost connection. I don't know why. This is something that happens with the Nano Plus from time to time. It just loses connection. And it's usually when you're going into different parts of the settings or navigating the app like I was. This has been a problem from day one. So let's close the app and then I'll restart. Okay, restarted the app. And see if anything happens here. And there we go. So let's click start. Hopefully we don't lose that again. Click here to view the interface function information. So you click that question mark and it will bring you around to something like this where you have it tells you how to long press to take off. You hold it and slide, go all the way to the end and your motors will start. We have no GPS satellite or anything like that. And I don't want to start right now in the home and attitude mode. So click it again. You can go through all of these. your standard flight mode, your equipment
Gimbal is
status. It shows you
self-checking. Please take off
self-checking,
later.
no satellites and so forth like that. Your shooting mode and all that. So let's get out of it and we'll go over each of these real quickly. So upper left-hand corner, you can simply click where it says standard and go into sport mode. Obstacle avoidance will turn off. And then you click smooth and then back to standard. You can also program your stick, your button, your FN button to do some of these tasks that we're going to be going through as well. But let's move on down, and you already saw how we take off. Now we can go to where you see the 0 on the bottom left. That shows our gimbal. So you can see the gimbal move. And then you click on your map and it pops up where the compass was and your speeds and all that. Touch it again and it takes you into the map, and then go touch the bottom picture, takes you back to your FPV feed. You can also make it so that the map is not there by clicking back to your compass. So that shows us right now our north and all that. If we're up in the air, that north turns into the aircraft, shows you the direction of the aircraft, the orientation of the aircraft, and lets you know when you are not pointing properly. If you see the end moving right now, that would be your aircraft as well, and it just keeps you lined up with your aircraft. And then that takes us care of everything on the left-hand side there. Let's go back up to the top where it says warning, no GPS. If you touch that, it will tell you it'll give you a full explanation. So let's turn the volume down and you'll see another one. Reminder, maximize your phone's volume for notifications so you can hear her speak. You can also X this out, but from time to time it will continue to pop up. In the top center, you have your GPS signal, you have your RC signal. You also have your RC battery at 91% in our case. And then you have your battery of the quad. You have your battery percentages, which we can change. You can see it's a red, an orange, and a green. You'll see this gimbal self-check happen a lot too. And where it's red, orange, and green, we can change that, which we will, because I'll show you where I like to set it. Obstacle avoidance is on. And if you touch that little sensor, that green sensor, it will be turning off and go to red. And you can also do that in the settings. So turn it back on. And then let's go into the settings, and we'll end this with just going through all the camera stuff. So you can go into a novice mode. Novice mode is where it completely slows everything down. You'll see all the speeds, the distance, the altitude, or the speed, the distance, and altitude. All that changes. Return to home, everything changes. You cannot change it manually. Turn it off, you can change it. So my maximum altitude is 120 meters. Distance I can put anywhere I want. I keep it usually at no limit. And then currently right now, my return home altitude is at 94. And then you can bring that up or down. And then your home point, me, aircraft, or customize. Compass calibration, you do that out on the field before you fly for the very first time. Don't do it in your house around metal or metallic magnetic things that will cause interference and mess your compass all up and make your calibration either fail or pass and then give you flight problems. You'll instantly notice some characteristics, and some of them could cause you to crash. So always do your compass calibration for the first time out on the field, and then don't worry about it ever again unless you have a bad crash, or you update the firmware. I recommend you do it as well. Very first thing you should do is your IMU calibration, followed by gimbal calibration, and do your RC stick calibrations. I have a video I'll attach to the end of this that you can click on to watch those. This will also show you your battery information. There's our battery temperature. And then my critical, this all stayed the same, surprisingly. My critical low battery I keep all the way down at the very bottom. This is something I wish I could turn off. Let me be the responsible party here and say, you know what, I'll risk it. Let me take it down to 3% because I'm in a bad situation right now. 8% is going to force you to land, and you're going to have to hold that left stick up and fight it to keep it up. I've been in that situation, and it's not fun. I don't purposely put myself there, but sometimes it happens. And then you have battery protection to go into a storage mode. Basically, after 3 days, it'll just start discharging down and put itself into a storage mode. I recommend you keep that on. Battery health, it just shows you we're at 100%, and it'll tell us if our cells are getting bad or anything like that. Discharge times, this one shows 3 times. And that's everything for that portion of the menu. Let's go to control. You can change your units. We'll change to metric. That's where I usually like to go for my videos, just because that's how everything is advertised on the quad. It makes it easier. And then your stick command mode, where mode 2, most people here in the US fly mode 2. And I think it's pretty much the same for a lot of other areas, but you can change it to mode 1 and 3 as well. And that just changes your stick command. And then we go down and we can set our single tap. Let's set our single tap for, we'll do the pitch of the gimbal. And then our double tap, we will make that for the speed mode. Oh, I didn't do it right. I didn't hit it properly. Undefined and 90. Okay, now it's set. So now let's double click. And there it is. Okay, close it, double click. Holy cow, now we're there. Sport mode, smooth, and back to standard. That's a lot of work just for that. So moving on, we have gimbal first. We have it in stabilize, which is going to work. It's 3-axis, or you can do a fixed, like FPV, fixed wing type flight. Enable gimbal pitch, so that'll give us a -15. You can move the gimbal further than normal. Gimbal manual adjustment, that's one I spoke about. I recommend you do that. Watch my video at the end for this. And the gimbal calibration, watch it for the gimbal calibration. For the manual adjustment, I'll show you that. I'm not going to do it because I like where I'm at, but you can, and plus we can't see, but you can change your pitch. So if you have a constant tilted horizon that's always in the same direction, you can adjust it out with this. Finish. Let's go back into the gear control. And gimbal calibration, that's what I was speaking about. Go to the end of this video, you'll see where I have a video on that. And then gimbal angle, recenter or downwards. I'm going to keep it at downwards. Camera, SD card just shows what I have on there. You can format it. That is a function that was a problem in the beginning, but now that does work. A lot of things you might find will not work on this app while you're watching it and are trying it on your quad because it's still new yet. Enable, this is one I love. Enable audio recording during video shooting. I love that because when I make my videos, it's recording my voice as we do it when I hit record, but I'm going to turn it off right now. And then enable video buffering during video shooting. And then you can do your different grids to show. I'll show you that. There we have our grid. And so forth. So let's turn those off. And then your photo format is JPEG, RAW, JPEG in RAW. You get it. You see it. So these are all just your different settings that you can choose to your liking. And then defog, it's pretty well explained here. You will enable that to get better image in rainy or hazy environments. Anti-flicker in the US is 60 Hertz. And then your overexposure warning, it will give you those zebra stripes and show you that you are full. If your screen is covered in zebra scrapes, it means you are way overexposed. And then you can adjust it to minimize those, and that tells you that you're not overexposed. So that's something good to have on. Add timestamp is something fairly new here. Add timestamp on photos and videos, and then you can turn that on. Then you can put what you want, and we'll go ahead and just put Q, C, guy, and done. Confirm. Please enter letters and numbers. It's a custom stamp. I have to have numbers. Cancel. All right. And there's your camera reset. Image transmission. This is something that is now somewhat functioning. Not every bit of it is functioning. I think there's an issue with the 2.7K. But it pretty much gives this is your image transmission mode. It gives a fairly good explanation. This was working before. I don't understand why now it's not working, but it doesn't give me what I want. Image transmission, pillar blocks blurring. If I turn that on, then you notice the sides are now kind of a transparent. And then if we go back and turn that off, it turns them solid black. I kind of like them. They're new, so let's go ahead and just try them out here. And the about, I'm going to block out some of this because I don't want to share all my information with you, like my serial numbers mainly, but it shows you that we have an Evo Nano Plus, and then the aircraft firmware is on the latest version, 117, and then our app version is 110, which is also the latest version as I make this video. So now let's get out of this all together here, and you can let's go all the way down where it says quick shots, and you can just slide this and go through all the different things. But for quick shots, you have flick, fade away, rocket, and orbit. Now for that, it's portrait. For that, it's just standard photo, auto everything, video, auto everything, hyperlapse, manual or orbit, pano, spherical, wide angle, landscape, or portrait, and then you go into pro, and then you have, this is where it is currently set at all auto, and then you go into manual, and you can change your ISO, you can change everything here. If you click on it, you get your little scale. Click on ISO, you get your little scale. You can't do exposure in this mode right here. White balance, if you go up top, you can change your Kelvin. Click it again, and auto. Click it again, sun, cloud, incandescent, and let me switch over to video. It'll show it differently. It should be changing. Let's go back out, go back in. You should see a little bit of a change here. I don't know why it's not. But anyhow, that's that. Again, keep in mind, some things are a little buggy and weird with this app at the moment. And then we go to the upper slider wheels here. Video resolution for 4K. Let's go all the way down to 1080 and show you. We have 60, 50, 48, 30, 25, and 24 frames per second. And then we go to 2.7K, 30 frames, 25 frames, and 24 frames per second. And we go up to 4K at 24, 25, and 30 frames per second. I'm not sure if I spoke about, let's go back in the camera, not video. And our resolution, we have 50 megapixels. This is fairly new. We didn't have, we couldn't do 50 megapixel photographs until pretty recent with the firmware update, but it is only supported with JPEG at the moment. So JPEG, you have 50 megapixels. And then just, these are all your others you can change. Okay, so I'm gonna put it at 50, close that out. And that is pretty much it. On the bottom down here, here's another thing actually. We go into photo, and let's go down to just normal photo. We're supposed to have our settings down at the bottom. Let's go to video.
Start recording.
It's not showing my settings down
Stop
at the
recording.
bottom. Let's go to Pro. Start recording.
Start recording.
Yeah, so at the bottom it's supposed to,
Stop
on
recording.
this latest update, it's supposed to give us what are, where you see the ISO and exposure and all that's supposed to be displayed down on the bottom. So it's currently not there, but that's the way it should be. At Android it is. So if you touch different areas, it'll change the focus. This isn't a good location, but it will change our exposure, and then you touch it and hold it, and it locks it. So then it will not change again until you touch another spot on the screen. You can go and click EV and change all that manually. And blow it up. Okay. So let's close that out, and that's all of it, I think, except I did not cover back to the compass area on the left. It shows you your height, and that's your distance on the bottom. And then shows you how high up you are and then how far you are in distance as well. And again, I have that set for meters. So right now it's reading meters per second. And it looks like I've pretty much covered everything, just as, like I said, from a beginner's standpoint. That's kind of what this video will be for. So let me turn this off so we don't have the fan
RC
noise.
disconnected.
And just go ahead and end the video here with that part, and just say, hopefully this is something that helps you out if you're totally new to drones, or if you're new to the Sky app and you just needed a few particulars. Here you have it. And as always, thumbs up on your way out. New to my channel, hit that subscribe button. And as always, hit the bell for future content notification. And we will catch you on the next video. Take care.